Hello, my name is Mike Johnson. Take you on an inside and outside video tour of this 2015 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor. This one is unique because this was a detective, or actually I think this was a district attorney investigation unit vehicle. So it's a police interceptor, but it belonged to the district attorney's office. The crazy DA's office is not interested in arresting people, so they're getting rid of all their vehicles. So this one is from Los Angeles County, but this one, it's been serviced. It has upgraded bi-xenon HID headlights. You've probably seen the really nice headlights on Lexus, Mercedes, Toyotas. The bi-xenon, really bright ones. Some people have LED headlights are coming out, but these are bi-xenon high intensity discharge headlights. They'll give you excellent light at night. And so its high beam is HID and low beam is HID. It has a little hood that lifts up. They're built like this, but usually they put the cheap automotive basic halogen bulbs in there, and those things don't work very good. They're really designed to work with the HID bulbs, which is what this has in it. So they're actually, these headlights are brighter than the 2016s and 17s, which have a different technology. Very bright headlights. This is a police detective configuration. It has very low engine hours. So stop and pay attention. First of all, here's the window sticker for this one. This shows what options. I believe it has the keyless entry and stuff like that. It's got tinted windows. It's got the police looking rims, dark gray. When you're driving this one, people think that you're like a cop or something, maybe, or they'll just wonder, and they probably won't mess with you with the road ragers and stuff like that. Hopefully, if you have a security company, this is ideal, but this one is good for even just a family cruiser to take your family to the movies or Disneyland. That's fine. The front seats, cloth. And this one, the back seats are cloth too. A lot of the black and whites and stuff, they have plastic rear seats or vinyl rear seats or K9 packages in it. This is nothing like that. This is a cloth seats, civilian seats. There was no cages in this one. So it has 100,000 miles on it. Government agencies generally take really good care of their vehicles. They're crazy diligent about changing oil and servicing tires and things like that. It has 101,000 miles. But as we go through the menus, go down here to information, and it shows engine idle hours 1,300, and total engine hours are 4,010 engine running hours. So why is that such a big deal? So that's really a big deal, because maybe where you work, you have coworkers that go out in their car at lunchtime and they sit for 30 minutes a day or an hour a day eating their lunch, and then they sit another hour in their car before they drive home until the traffic dies down a little bit. So then they're putting on 2 hours a day just sitting there idling away. Cop cars is like that too, but in a cop car, when the cop is sitting there running the air conditioner and pointing his little radar gun at you, that adds up wear and tear on the vehicle, wear and tear on the seats, stuff like that. Detective units are different. Usually they're in the office doing paperwork, but they have a car that when they need to go out, they go out and handle a case, and sometimes they get to take these cars home. That's the point of them being undercover. They're ready to respond in the middle of the night if they get called out, but they have their light, siren, and guns with them, but it's unmarked, so the neighbors might not realize or catch the attention of the neighbors to think that, oh wait, that's a cop car at my neighbor's house. Sometimes they stay in the police station, so they drive their civilian cars into work. but it depends. There's no emergency lights working or anything like that, no emergency sirens working on it. It's just a regular civilian vehicle right now. And this one does not have, I don't believe this one has the ballistic panels. It does not have, I don't think, the armored doors. That's something, if you need that, I have other police interceptors that do. And I would say consult the window sticker. If you're watching my video here, which is good, just pause the video at the point where I show the window sticker. Now on the back, it has rear parking sonar sensors. So when you get close to objects, it goes beep, 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 like a little Geiger counter as you're getting near an object. It has the color backup camera. It has a metal cargo tray. That red box, those are those triangular flares that if there's an accident or something, they can put those triangles out and they won't set a fire. Some cop cars have flares, some have these triangles. That could be taken out if you don't want it. That white label there, that's the box. This has, like I mentioned, HID bi-xenon headlights, and it does have the high performance 3.7 liter. It's basically the Mustang GT 5.0 engine, but it's not a V8. Ford designed the Mustang V8 in a V6 and a V8 version. This has the V6 version. So it's not 5.0, it's 3.7, which is about basically the same as the 5.0 with 2 less cylinders. So it's a very high performance engine. It gets really good gas mileage. These little plugs right here, it has cylinder, a variable cam timing. I don't know if you remember the 60s dragsters, and people used to buy a muscle car or a family car and it's like, man, I wish this thing went faster. Those are your transformers for the HID xenon headlights. They used to make their cars go faster by putting a hot cam in it, but then the smooth running family car, it will idle low at like 500-600 RPM, but then you put the hot cam and it won't idle, it'll die. So then they crank up the RPM to 1000 RPM, and then they have to change the transmission torque converter so it has a high stall speed so that it doesn't engage the transmission until after 1100 RPM, and all that stuff that they used to do in the 60s and the 70s to hot rod their cars. This is designed from the factory with a variable cam timing that has a very conservative cam at idle, but when you stomp on the gas, that cam adjusts like a dragster for high performance driving. That's how it works. It's a variable cam timing engine. What it's all about, the engine breathes more air per RPM, and by breathing more air, more fuel goes through and makes a lot more power. It's all engineering stuff, but works really good. It's very reliable. It's less wear and tear than like a turbo. This is not a hybrid. It is a 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So the 3.7 has a transfer case that transfers power to the rear wheels. So if you live in snow country, which California is not snow country, but if you live in the Midwest or the North or somewhere, these are really good in snow conditions. We do have mountains up here that they can drive up to the mountains in the winter, but we get like 4 weeks of, less than 4 weeks a year of snow on the ground, and they don't use salt or anything like that to melt the snow in California, so they don't get all rusty like they would in a country like Minnesota or someplace like that. So it's California owned in Los Angeles County. We do have beaches in LA County, but we're not finding any rust or corrosion. When you look at these Ford Explorers, if they have some corrosion, sometimes you'll see little corrosion on the hood, but we're not seeing that. They do have aluminum hoods on the Ford Explorer. So we're going on a little test drive, reminding you it's only got 4,000 engine hours. You have a Ford Sync radio. This radio console can be changed to a navigation system with Apple CarPlay. We've done those before. We've done them several times. They work really nicely. It already has a backup camera right now that displays on the rearview mirror, but alternatively it can display on a navigation system. That is about a $700 to $1,000 upgrade if you want to change out the stereo, or sky's the limit if you want to go all out on stereo equipment. HID headlights by Xenon. That's what they're called. Bi means two. That means the low beam and the high beam are HID Xenon, and it actually has a little hood. When you turn on the high beams, the hood lifts out of the way to give you high beam Xenon illumination. The Toyotas, we've had the Toyotas with the Xenon headlights, and the Xenon was only the low beams, and then they had halogen high beams on the Toyotas we had. So we're gonna go on a little test drive. This Ford Explorer runs and drives. It drives good. We do sell our vehicles as is. If you want an extended warranty, I can recommend that you consult with your auto insurance carrier. Many auto insurance companies like AAA and especially Mercury Insurance have something called mechanical breakdown insurance, where you just add a extra coverage under your policy that if you have a mechanical breakdown due to something expensive, you can take it to the dealer and then the insurance company will pay for it. It's covered. That's through Mercury Insurance or through your auto insurance carrier. It's like an extended warranty. So I'm gonna go on a little test drive here. We'll go on a longer test drive. You can fast forward the test drive if you want, but most people like to see them run. There's quite a bit of traffic, so we're just gonna take you on a little test drive here. Generally, we've had good results with the Ford Explorers, being very reliable. It's very powerful. So when you stomp on the gas, it goes into pursuit mode, and it has crazy amount of power. It does not burn the tires normally because it's all-wheel drive. You know, it's a similar engine to what they put in the Mustang GT, but the Mustangs are only two-wheel drive. So the Mustangs, because they're only putting the power to two wheels, and actually the Mustangs are a little bit lighter than the Ford Explorers, they go real fast. This also goes quite fast, but it's a 5-seat SUV. The Police Interceptor does not have a third row seat. Instead of the third row seat, they bolt in a anti-collision bar, steel bar in the back. Theoretically, these are rated to survive a 70-mile-an-hour rear impact. Hands off the wheel, go straight. We can turn on the cruise control. We're on cruise control now. Cruise control is running the accelerator. Everything's working. I don't have any defects to point out, other than, you know, it's just a used vehicle. Down. The AC is blowing ice cold, by the way. The AC works, the heater works really good. The engine's running good. It's actually passed the California smog check. So in California, we have to do smog checks before a vehicle can be sold, and this one has already passed. The smog check checks the emission control system and the engine. If you had a problem in the engine, it wouldn't pass the smog check because it'd be making pollution that and it wouldn't pass. So everything seems to be running good on the engine. Driving good. We're cruising along. Took you on maybe a 1 or 2 mile loop test drive. So if you are in Minnesota, I hope that you're enjoying this video. It's a lot quicker and simpler than driving all the way out here. Now again, I talk about this several times in my various videos. If you're far away, we can deliver this vehicle to you by transport truck to pretty much anywhere in the United States, including Hawaii. We can deliver it to other countries overseas, and it can be financed right through your local bank or credit union. I recommend credit union because credit union is a non-profit version of a bank, whereas a bank has like shareholders in the stock market that they pay. Some of your interest goes to pay shareholders, and the credit union is basically the same thing, except as a member of a credit union you're a shareholder and they pay you with lower interest rates. So banking and credit union is basically the same thing. We have a lot of experience with these police interceptors. We've had good reliability. Even my employee has one for his own personal vehicle. The door panels in this one are in excellent condition. Everything's looking good. Your center console has cup holders, storage tray, power points. You've got a USB port. This does have Ford Sync. It's got auxiliary jack for plugging in smartphones that they don't make anymore with auxiliary jack. And then again, backup camera on the rear view mirror. So this is a very clean Ford Explorer. If you're watching this video on your little phone, be advised you should be watching it on your living room TV, that giant TV that you spend all your money on. Go on the YouTube app on your big old TV or your computer monitor. Go to my website, which is mybestcar.com, and then you'll see the link to my YouTube videos, my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is almost like a resume. It goes back to 2008, 2010. We have videos going back for years on different vehicles. If you're buying the vehicle, your check is going to pay to the order of our company name, which is A Buyer's Choice. We've been in business for 24 years here in Southern California through 2 recessions. We're still in business, still going. My name is Mike Johnson. Thank you for watching. If you want to reserve the car or finance the car, we do set things up with your credit union and certain banks. We're happy to work with your bank, or your credit union is even better. Give me a call, 951-681-2101 between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. I can send you a purchase order so that your bank can fund your purchase of the vehicle. Or if you're buying it for a company, we'll just give you the purchase order so you have a good faith estimate. If you're in California, it's plus tax and license. If you're outside of California, we don't have to charge you tax or license as long as we deliver it out of the state by a bona fide transport. So if you're buying it for use in Minnesota or New York or Texas or Hawaii or Saudi Arabia or wherever you're at, let us know. Call between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thank you for watching.